All right, hi, this is Attica, and welcome to part 5 of our playthrough of Railway Empire 2 Scenario 11, Across the Alps. Now, when we left, it was, when we left part 4, it was April 1924, so it's about 10 months later, and we have grown from, I think, around 500,000 up to 987,000. So we've grown a lot in 10 months. And as you can see, as a review, we've finished every other task. We just had this huge city building thing or city growth task to do. So the tactic we took was to set up 3 city clusters. And here's a good clean one to show you. We've got cloth in Turin, beer in Milan, and meat in Venice. And that was the original 3-city cluster. We put a warehouse on the middle of the 3 cities. We have it accept grain, corn, lumber, and sugar, and then 2 of 3. In this case, it's veggies and fruit, and the other option would be milk. And depending upon which of those 3 was available, you pick 2 of them, the 2 closest, so like veggies and milk, or milk and fruit, or veggies and fruit, whatever, to get your 6 items in there. Then you run city to city pass-through freight lines, like Turin to the Milan warehouse, to Venice to the Milan warehouse. And that way you get your goods flowing back and forth between the 3 cities. And of course you load all the raw materials we just mentioned into that warehouse. And that gives you really good city growth. So we've got double what we got here, 88.8% here, 92% in Turin, and probably about 79 in Vienna. Now, I replicated that multiple spots. So we've got, this is the original one we started with. And by the way, I finally did what I threatened to do forever, was I cleaned this up and took, this is really my preference, I cleaned this up and took all the freight traffic and gave it its dedicated lines. And then that way you have dedicated lines for your passenger and mail traffic as well. So you can see, once you get decent sized cities, you can look at the money that you can make on these. That's 79,000 balance per week on those guys there. And our overall economy, we're at a little over $1 million a week that we're making in profit. So nice, but again, it's the same idea. We load all this stuff into the warehouse. We have our city to city lines running freight back and forth and helping the cities grow. Now here's a good example. This is a mature one. You notice none of these 3 cities are growing. What I did was I just focused on getting these 3 city clusters going all over the place, and ended up with, I think, 5 or 6. 1, 2. I kind of count this as 1. This is an oddball. We can talk about this for a minute. That's 3. This was a good one. That's 4. And I got a little problem that's cropped up right here. I'll talk about in a minute. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. And then another one over here, Vienna, Linz, Salzburg. That's 5. So we've got 5 true city cluster, 3 city clusters. But so I got all those going, and then had some cities like Trieste and Trent and Graz and Munich that sort of sat outside the clusters, right? And they actually started declining in population. Didn't want to have to fight that, so I just set up some kind of special things to load stuff to Graz and to make sure that they had a line that was bringing in some meat and what have you. Same thing with Munich. In Munich, in fact, I put a warehouse on it, and then brought some things into that warehouse, and then had some city-to-city lines that would bring them basic meat and cloth. And so kind of treated them like a specialty 1 city cluster, and actually got them to grow. Munich has grown very nicely, and Graz has grown, and even Trent up here, but just by running a couple of things into Trent and getting some meat going up there, able to grow Trent. So instead of having them decline and hurt you, had them all growing. And then this one here was a kind of a specialty case because we had to grow Geneva quickly. That was during the task. So just simply, kind of have stuff going from Dijon and Zurich and Nancy and Ulm for the beer, and then eventually we had those dairies, and we took the dairies out, put the beer back in Zurich. So now Zurich is beer, and it looks like they've gone with alcohol. And I added a few industries. I didn't have to do much with the industries, but I made sure that if I saw one pop up, a hole pop up, and I knew something I liked, like Marseille, I knew we could get furniture. I knew we were already making planks there, so that would be a good place for that. We have bigger cities. So what happens with these is you get about this much: 92,000 in Marseille, 86 in Venice, and over 90 here. So you can basically, this setup without a whole lot of ongoing maintenance. So I haven't really optimized these lines at all. And we've got 90,000 cities there, roughly. This one, Nice, is not quite there. These guys would end up being 90s as well. So you can get about 250,000 or better population out of each 3-city cluster without doing anything. Once it's set up, you can kind of walk off and do something else, unless you make a mistake. Like right up here, what has happened is I changed, and this is just right toward the end. This is the last month or two of gameplay. I expanded what was happening in this one right here and put 3 lines on it, and then I lost track of how many lines I actually have going in there. So let's just see. Yeah, see, I've got 4 lines in there, but I've only got 3 tracks, and that's why we've got a problem here. So I'll tell you what, let's just fix that, because I can't stand having that kind of a deal going on. That's not going to be long enough. Oh, this is going to be tight. Let's just see if we could possibly get a 4th one in here. Would love it if we could. So this is an example of what happens when you have more lines than you have platforms at these rural stations. If you don't set up shunt lines or some way to handle that volume, you could get in a situation where you've got a run full that's holding up another line that wants to get in there. So I think that's where we are with this one. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking of this as part of the distance. I was trying to run this out 5 or 6 miles to make sure we could do it. Okay, so now we got 4. Let's just see if this train will move. Yeah, see, that just immediately takes care of the problem. He moves, and then this guy's free to go and what have you. All right, so let's just let this sucker run and hit our million. And then the other thing is just you have to go back and watch the other videos to see how we did the various things. I think one thing for me is when you got these nice trains, here's the maintenance. This guy to Lyon is not getting maintenance, so let's try. Yeah, missed one right here. Good. We'll put maintenance on this guy right here, and him. We're gonna reset that line so we don't have that problem. Okay, so let's let this run till we finish. A couple things for me. One is the nice level track with max speed is nice for profit, and we can look at our lines here and see like Dijon to Lyon.
You can't imagine how relieved I am to be able to check off this goal. Congratulations! Our Alpine rail network is a gigantic success. Our clients are extremely satisfied and have asked me to express their thanks to you. Oh, and by the way, I have to commend your conscientiousness. Not only did you meet our mandatory goals with outstanding thoroughness, you also went out of your way to meet every special wish our client had. Most impressive.
All right, so let's see how we did. 854,000, 269 out of 300. We did okay. I expect that's probably okay gameplay. Let's just find out. Let's see. Obviously, it's not 9. There's Dwarf 1. Dwarf 1's got this game down. And there's, you know, some of the usual Wolfgang, Sunny Wind's always up there for several of these guys. You see them all the time. Here, oh, look at this. This is we've got, this is where I end up 31st. Okay, 31st out of, let's see, 1837, be 98th percentile. Pretty good. Very happy with that. We've got Dwarf 1 and Steely Door and Blah Razor. Those three always right in front of me. Then me, we got Matt, Der Gut, Ludwig von, Magistan, Haji, and Gardet. And I would love to show you some more of our friends, but of course, as I complain every episode, every final episode of a scenario, can't do it. But pretty good. Very happy with that. I really enjoyed it. Very good episode. The city build, you know, all that city building at the end is just, you know, it's almost like playing sandbox. But I do want to go back to that methodology of having those 5 3-city clusters. I had to do very little tweaking as I went. The only tweaking I did really was where I had like Trieste and Graz and Munich weren't in 3-city clusters, so I kind of treated them as specialty cases. But the 3-city cluster concept works beautifully. And there are other ways to do your city building. I mean, obviously, this one here is sort of kind of a 3-city cluster, but not really. It's really like a hodgepodge. And we've got, you know, excellent growth here in Geneva, good growth in Dijon, good growth in Nancy, good growth in Ulm. Now, these guys are cheating because they're in a 3-city cluster as well, but they're part of this weird one here. So I enjoyed it. You know, I don't love the weirdo track building things, and you know, you can see I showed my love by building them and immediately deleting them, pretty much. But anyway. It was another great episode. Sorry, very immodest statement there. Another great scenario to play. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You could play it again, even trying the same scenario, and you'd play it totally differently in terms of what you did and where you goofed and where you didn't goof and all that kind of stuff. So the game has great replayability. Hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you'll join us for the next one. We'll see you soon. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it'll help you become a better player. I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for our next Railway Empire 2 video. Thank you.